In a cathedral, would you Helter Skelter near the altar? Would you rave in the nave? Or would you do yoga, forgetting about Jehovah? There, close enough. Or would you worship God? Hi, welcome to the channel. My name is Rev Dan. I'm a vicar in the Church of England, and on this channel you will get my views as a vicar on Christian news that is happening around the world. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so as soon as I release a video you will hear about it. So would you go and ride a Helter Skelter in a cathedral, or perhaps go to a disco, or even to do some yoga in a cathedral? Would you do that? Because those are all things that are happening or going to happen in Church of England cathedrals. So in 2019, Norwich Cathedral put a Helter Skelter inside the building. It got into the national news. People weren't happy. Gavin Ashenden said, "Naff choice," referring to it being a Helter Skelter. "For such a place steeped in mystery and marvel, to buy into the sensory pleasure and distraction is to poison the very medicine it offers the human soul." Cathedrals, remember, there is a cathedral in every diocese. They will be seen as the spiritual home. There's churches all around, but the cathedral is the main place. It's where we go to get ordained as deacons. It's an important place in every diocese. It's even important actually to the Anglican Communion. Canterbury Cathedral will be seen as a spiritual home for all the Anglicans around the world. So it's not just the cathedrals in our diocese, it's Canterbury Cathedral for the Church of England and also for the Anglican Communion. And they are places of worship. They are places of reverence. Put a Helter Skelter in. I get where they're coming from. Let's not be fair. They're trying to engage with people. I'm sure the views from the top were stunning of the cathedral. But to put that inside the cathedral, was that the right place? Could have put it outside in the grounds. But to put it inside just changed the game. Inside is the place of prayer. It's a place of worship. But if you thought Helter Skelter was bad, if you disagreed with that, then wait for what I got for you. So in Truro Cathedral, for the past year now, they've had silent disco yoga and meditation. They do yoga first, followed by meditation. Now, a lot of people will not even agree with having yoga in their church halls, saying that it's absolutely contrary to the teachings of the Christian faith and just will not have it, let alone to have it in the spiritual home of a diocese. And yet it is here and happening. So unlike the Helter Skelter, which happened once, this is happening through the year. And it says with the yoga and the meditation, it is a mindful vinyasa flow yoga session and followed by a 45-minute yoga nidra guided meditation. Now, I have no idea what they are, but I would say they're not to be done in a church at all, let alone a cathedral. It goes on to say that it is a restorative experience. The restorative experience is encountering Christ. That's the restorative experience, coming back from our brokenness and being restored and brought back into relationship with God. That's the true restorative experience. Nothing against this company or what they're doing, just in this particular place. They do it in the Eden Centre. They do it on beaches. Absolutely fine. Doing it at Cathedral, I just cannot agree with. But they say this time next week, we'll be getting ready to flow underneath the incredible Gaia Earth expedition at Truro Cathedral. Do you know what Gaia is? It's the personification of the earth. Gaia is the ancestral mother of all life. Now, this was also in the cathedral. Gaia, it's absolutely unchristian. It's pagan, you would say, saying that the earth is the ancestral mother of all life. Gaia is not the ancestral mother of all life. God is the father of all life, the creator of all life. But that's what was being celebrated at the same time as this yoga. You see now why I can't agree with this. So like I said, that's been going on for a year. It's going to continue to go on. Yoga is going to happen in the spiritual home of the Diocese of Truro, and celebrations to Gaia as well. But in Canterbury Cathedral, and this is a big one as well, because remember, Canterbury Cathedral is where we would look as the whole Church of England, but also the Anglican Communion. Those 85 million Anglicans out there would see the Canterbury Cathedral as their spiritual home. And in February, they're going to have a silent disco with 1,000 people there. It's a 90s silent disco. Happy with the 90s, grew up in the 90s, absolutely fine. Wouldn't mind going, not there, that myself. I wouldn't mind doing that myself, but not in Canterbury Cathedral. It's just not the place to have it. You know why? Because as clergy, as ministers in the Church of England, we've got to make sure what we're playing as music is reverent. Now, there could be an argument, they got headphones on, it's not being played in the cathedral. It is being played in the cathedral. And are all these songs by these artists reverent? Would they be worthy of being in such a sacred and holy place? So you got the Spice Girls, Eminem, Linkin Park, Venga Boys, just as a selection. Is their music reverent for a cathedral? When we're taking a funeral or a wedding, song choices we have to make a call on. If they're not worthy of being played in a church because they would be offensive to God and for that sacred place, we have to say no. We have to say no, because that's we're protecting what that place is. So having this disco, again, nothing against the company, nothing against the 90s disco, but it's the place that we have it. But why are they allowing these or inviting these in? What's their main point of doing this? Is it for the mission of the gospel? Is the gospel being proclaimed? Are they going to have times where at the end of the yoga session or at the end of the disco that someone's going to come up and present the gospel? I hope so. Maybe maybe that's where we find the balance that, do we let this happen? But we got 1,000 people and we're going to present the gospel to them. Or is it to raise funds? So I don't know how they will see in the Anglican Communion this disco happening in Canterbury Cathedral, what they would think if you're watching this channel from anywhere in the world and part of the Anglican Communion. Put your comments down below. What do you think? But also, if you're here in England, what do you think of your cathedrals being used for these? Is it a good thing? Am I wrong here? And it's okay to do this. It's raising funds, and we need funds at the moment as the congregations decline and money isn't going to come in as much. Or is it absolutely wrong, and the cathedrals or any church should never, ever, ever hold things like this?